Elizabeth Nord has spent 3 years of her life trying to find an answer. Why do men want to leave their old lives behind them to join the strange and uncompromising world of the French Foreign Legion?
The reason why you come here is why people will respect you for.
What is it that makes thousands of men a year apply to join this notoriously brutal and strict division of the French army? Is it escape? Is it machismo? Or is it the chance to belong to the famed and mythical home of heroes?
There are people, because we're legionnaires, will have a very bad opinion of us, because they've heard some horror story or whatever, and decided that we are all bloodthirsty serial killers or people hiding from the police in our own countries.
The chance to fight with your brothers in arms.
I see 3 different types of people who come to the Legion. There are the people who genuinely need to be here, like me, the people who are in trouble back home, the fly-by-night dreamers, and the people who think they're going to be commandos.
The chance to stand on the shoulders of giants.
Hey, laisse pas ta jambe. Laisse pas, et voilà, regardez. Regardez tous, c'est typique de quelqu'un qui n'écoute pas son instructeur. Voilà, et maintenant tu viens. Allez, tire sur les bras et sur les jambes. Arrière. Laisse pendre ta putain de jambe, laisse-la pendre là.
We are the best army in world, the Legion. Forever the Legion.
Or the chance to prove you're tougher than the rest. King Louis-Philippe created the Foreign Legion on March the 10th, 1831. It was established to protect and expand his colonial empire without the spilling of a drop of pure French blood. Recruits were drawn from all over Europe, including failed revolutionaries, soldiers from disbanded foreign armies and known troublemakers. It has survived 3 republics, 2 world wars, the passing of an empire, and finally, the loss of its birthplace, Saint-Sablou in Algeria, the Legion's home for 130 years. In its early days, the Legion was treated with disdain by the rest of the French army. They were not allowed to set foot on French soil, and because their code was never to surrender arms, they were used mainly as collateral damage in any foreign skirmish. Over 35,000 legionnaires have died for France since its inception. But slowly, through acts of unbelievable bravery and incredible defiance, the Legion has risen to be the most feared fighting force on the planet, with campaigns spanning the whole globe, from Mexico through Africa, the Middle East, and into Afghanistan. The Legion is best summed up by the motto, first in, last out. It still accepts people from any origin, nationality, religion, or background. Everybody is offered the opportunity to start a new life amongst its ranks.
A lot of people, they've got no choice because the countries that they're from are basically the war-torn or the poor, and they're here for the money, and that's the problem with the Legion. There's a lot of people, there's too many people here for the money and the food, and it makes the Legion a bit shitter than what it should be, because the real people that want to be here for like the Legion, there's not too many of them no more.
Today the army consists of 7,699 legionnaires and non-commissioned officers, coming from 136 different countries. The fellowship of the Legion is as strong as ever. They are brothers under the same flag, willing to lay down their life for each other.
the good things about being here is also the bad things about being here at the same time, because you live with these people and it's good to know people from all around the world and stuff like that. You know the good things about being here, what I told you last time, but then at the same time that can be annoying as well, because you're stuck with the same guys. It draws in some of the good people and it draws in some of the biggest idiots from around the world.
Foster saw no future for himself in his Manchester hometown, so he acquired a passport and ran away to join the Legion. The army can cruelly shatter many such dreams of hopeful young recruits by its brutish regime. But it's been the making of John, and he's proud to walk in the footsteps of his predecessors and is determined to stay.
For staying here for 5 years, it will be good for work afterwards, because like I said to your people, the reasons why you come here is why people will respect you for when you finish the contract.
The unit must be prepared to fight in all conditions, from the snow-covered mountains in La Courtine in France to the tropical downpours of the Ivory Coast, where 2nd Infantry Regiment is now deployed on a peacekeeping mission. The Ivory Coast gained its independence from France in 1960, but the nation slowly descended into chaos, with several military coups destabilizing an increasingly lawless country. Civil war broke out in the Ivory Coast in autumn 2002, and French forces were sent in the same year. For some of these men, it's their 3rd tour of duty. Each step courts danger. The French have lost several soldiers recently, and tensions between the warring factions remain high. The 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment is based in Nîmes, in the south of France, under the command of Colonel Gillet. It's the largest of the Legion's 10 regiments, and the largest in the French army. On their return to their military base, the boys are singing their company song. The regiment have been marching for 3 days.
Portez, en
Section.
The Legion march at 88 paces per minute, rather than the usual 120. This has been a strong Legion tradition throughout the ages. Adjutant Robenheimer went to an English boarding school. Good preparation for the rigours of army life. While his parents wanted him to go to Oxford or Cambridge, he secretly dreamt of becoming a Legionnaire. He has achieved the highest rank possible for an NCO, commanding 4th Platoon, and now he's coming to the end of his time with the army.
38 and 19 and a half years in the Legion is quite old. I'll be 39 when I leave. I'll still be young. I've got sore feet at the moment, and there's no set recipe to deal with the problem. Some people suffer more than others. It's something you're born with, I think. And there's no miracle cure, unfortunately. All right, I had my bath. I'm feeling quite well now. Sore feet still, but I went home and had that bath that I'd been waiting for 4 days to have. I fell asleep in the bath, which was expected to happen anyway. And now I'm going to unpack my bag full of wet and soggy things.
My priority is to cut my hair and then have a good shower, because I think I need some.
Lieutenant Rioux is a 28-year-old Frenchman. Fresh out of Saint-Cyr, France's military academy, he is ambitious and is the leader of the 1st Platoon in the 3rd Company.
Yes, I'm lucky, and that's Lieutenant feet. That's why. 100 kilometers and nothing. Ah!
How's the spirit? Ça va?
Très bien. Fatigué.
Difficult choice. This way, but strong. That way, but easy. I think this way, strong.
Attention, grenade! Grenade, baseball!
What makes a man want to join the Legion? More importantly, what makes him want to stay? Although the romantic image of the white kepi and the red rolled blanket on the back still exists, today's legionnaire is trained in all forms of modern warfare. He has to be ready for any combat situation. From hand-to-hand fighting on the streets of war-ravaged Kosovo, through to covert operations in Africa. Legionnaires have parachuted behind enemy lines in Afghanistan and helped the Allies to victory in the First Gulf War.
Ton groupe, ici. Ok, deuxième groupe par ici. Voilà. Là, viens.
Hé, voilà. Non, hé, vos gueules. Je veux plus rien entendre. 12 ici, 13 ici. Quand c'est bon, vous vous rendez compte.
The Legion is always training to be ready, always alert, prepared to travel at 24 hours' notice. A legionnaire fights to live, but also lives to fight. A man may be running away from his former life, but he knows he's running towards action. You don't join the Legion to be a peacekeeper. You join the Legion to be a soldier. They fight because they love to fight. But gone are the days when anybody could join the service. A person wanting to join the force today will be checked by Interpol. A serious criminal will be handed over to the police, and the Legion have developed strict psychological tests to sift out a recruit who might not have the correct mental attitude. These days it turns down 8 out of every 9 men who wish to enlist.
Because we're legionnaires, will have a very bad opinion of us, because they've heard some horror story or whatever, and decided that we are all bloodthirsty serial killers or people hiding from the police in our own countries. We don't have many criminals in the Legion nowadays, I don't think. We don't have many angels either.
Il est recherché par Interpol, Borkowski. Ça se voit que c'est un grand criminel. Quand tu vois déjà sa tête, tu vois tout de suite que c'est un criminel de la mafia.
We can't enlist a murderer. We just enlist some guys who could be called bad guys, but not so bad guys. So once he is enlisted, we must protect their identity, their status. If they enlisted in the Legion, it's because they want to break with the past. So we have to protect that.
Why are we marching for 3 days? Because the Colonel thinks we're getting soft, and he's trying to toughen us up a bit. And so we're not supposed to enjoy the march because no gain without pain, or pain is weakness leaving the body, and so on.
We are the best army in words, the Legion, forever the Legion. This army is only for men, the real men.
Legionnaires come from all parts of the world. Many come because the Legion is a way into Europe. After 5 years of service, they will get a French passport. Nearly a quarter of all new recruits come from Latin America.
Bon, avant d'arriver ici, quand j'étais au Pérou, j'étais étudiant. J'étais à l'université, voilà. Jamais je pensais d'être comme ça, de rentrer à l'armée, et voilà, de faire des trucs comme ça, des marchés. Bon, ici à la Légion, j'aimerais bien être sous-officier. Sous-officier à la Légion, c'est une chose je pense qu'il y a tout le monde qui cherche. Un sous-officier à la Légion, c'est un mec un homme qui est respecté.
Life for a legionnaire hasn't changed much over the years. They still live, sleep and eat together. Mazouz was a butcher in his former life in Morocco. He has a very easygoing philosophy to his time in the Legion.
Ouais, c'est notre maison, c'est ma chambre, c'est mon lit. Ah ouais, ça fait plaisir de rentrer chez soi. Comme ça, c'est mieux. Après nettoyage, ce sera douche. Et ce soir, ce sera un peu de la fiesta.
Strict discipline has to be maintained at all times. The slightest misdemeanor can end with a term in a prison cell.
J'ai en train de chauffer l'eau pour préparer une soupe pour manger. Bah ouais, parce que là, il faut après essayer gamelle un peu. Les cigarettes, les soupes et les femmes. Les femmes aussi, je l'aime bien. Ça, ma femme.
The first and most important principle for a legionnaire is the Legion is my homeland, your comrades in arms are your brothers, the Legion is your family. This code tests married legionnaires' relationships to the limit. The Legion is an unforgiving mistress.
We got back in from the march at midday, so I went home, and my wife wasn't too happy to see me, because she wasn't expecting me to come home till this evening, so that was a bit of a problem. The life I've been living for the last 12 years, 12 years? Yes, 12 years, has not made my wife too keen on having children. Which would be another good reason for leaving the Legion as well. So it might be nice to have children someday. But we have a dog, which is like a child to a certain extent.
Pour ma femme, c'est un petit peu difficile de me voir passer autant de temps à mon travail, parce que forcément, tout le temps que je passe ici, c'est du temps que je passe pas avec elle. Mais à côté de ça, elle sait très bien que je fais un métier qui me plaît. Et du coup, ça la console de savoir que quand je suis pas à la maison et tout le temps que je passe avec mes légionnaires, c'est du temps que je passe à faire quelque chose où je m'éclate, quelque chose que j'ai toujours voulu faire.
Absolutely everything that you've seen, including the rucksack, and everything that was in it belongs to me, personally. It's not, nothing has been provided by the Legion. The rucksack is personal because the French Army standard rucksack is a nightmare. It wasn't designed to be. It was designed by a general who's never been in the field more than 12 hours, I think.
Allez, Mazouz, après la musique. Allez, traversez.
Lieutenant Ryu is pushing his men hard. He's determined that his platoon should beat the rest of the company to the meeting point. His men have marched over 50 kilometers with 30 kilos of weight on their back.
Just think about the beer of tonight.
Bonjour, I love you vodka.
All the people who say that they have no problem with their feet or their legs are liars.
C'est bon. Pas de problème.
On est premier. Alors, c'est qui est arrivé premier là? Hein? Bah alors, c'est qui le boss là, putain? Oh, c'est pas lui.
We came first of the company, and I really enjoy, even if it wasn't the objective.
Hey Mazouz! Mazouz! Ah, peaufine-moi l'affaire, hein! Ok, bah c'est bon, prenez vos sacs, vos équipements, et en avant là pour trouver sur la zone de bivouac là.
I think that in my platoon everybody have the same hurt.
Ah!
Good.
Mazouz!
Non, surtout quand on repartait.
Putain, oh, attention, mes piles là, putain, Mazouz.
Ils étaient par terre tout à l'heure. Je crois qu'ils étaient d'ici.
Ouais, ils étaient d'ici, Toi, t'es pas d'ici, toi.
Une balle de tennis, là, ça fout quoi ici, là? C'est à qui, ça?
C'est à moi, ouais.
Qu'est-ce que tu fous avec une balle de tennis?
Je sais jamais, je trouve son enfant.
Non, sérieux, qu'est-ce que tu fous avec une balle de tennis?
Hein?
Qu'est-ce que tu fous avec une balle de tennis?
Je l'avais dans le sac.
Ah, mais pourquoi? Voilà, Eh, attends, t'as fait quand avec quartier, là, sous la tente, parce qu'hier, j'avais des putains de caillasses, là.
Bah hier, on n'avait pas le choix, mon lieutenant.
Non, non, mais...
Oui, là, non. Là, il n'y a pas de caillasse.
T'es sûr?
Ouais, je suis sûr.
T'as regardé ou pas? Ah!
Napoleon said that an army marches on its stomach. Adjutant Robenheimer might disagree with that statement.
I am not well at all. Tired, sore feet. Didn't have much fun doing this at all. But then, it wasn't supposed to be fun, was it? We all survived. I think I was the slowest man in the platoon, actually. I'm the oldest man, so I think I can justifiably be the slowest man as well.
Pour l'instant, je sais pas si je marche comme un cowboy ou comme un âne, mais c'est bizarre.
But Robenheimer is not the only soldier suffering after a long and arduous march. Some of the younger members of Rio's platoon are also feeling the pace. Before they can settle down for the evening, the medical staff at a nearby nursing station must attend to raw blisters and painful sores.
Comme moi, t'as jamais dit, Plaisa, qu'il fallait pas mettre son doigt dans son nez, là?
Heureusement que c'est l'infirmier.
Hein? Allez, Plaisa, en priorité aussi, tu me gères les mecs qui doivent aller à l'infirmerie. Donc, voilà, vendredi matin, le tir, et normalement la marche commando. Et là, quand on arrivera au quartier, pour aider Arc Finex. D'accord. Et le reste de la journée de vendredi, ça sera la remise en condition.
C'est vrai que le lundi c'est libre.
Le lieutenant va...
Et à Noël, là, il y a KO, il fait venir un wagon de putes chinoises, là.
Ouais, mon lieutenant.
Oui,
KO. Attends, KO, toi tu dois aller à l'infirmerie, alors laisse ta caisse de côté et on la bourra quand tu reviens de l'infirmerie, là.
Pose comme ça, pose, KO, pose.
Laisse. Non, ça c'est pour nous, c'est que je me rappelle.
Mais toi d'abord, infirmerie, et après tu reviens et on boit à caisse.
Après, encore le en caisse. Ça c'est pour nous, nos sélections. Ouais, Gaba.
Laisse la bouteille.
Oh,
tu vas les faire. Toi, infirmerie, d'accord? Ciao.
Singing plays an important part of Legion life. A soldier will learn several songs during basic training, and then this is combined with marching. Each company has its own tune, and each platoon its own original song. The songs can be about anything from famous victories in Mexico to their dislike of Belgians.
There's a big blister here. This is a big blister here, and I was walking on that, which is a bit painful. And this is artificial skin, which didn't do its proper job. And there's a blister underneath it, which is burst, I think.
I think that all the feet and legs begin to be really tired. But let us have a good night, good sleep, and we'll be okay to walk again tomorrow.
If I could go home right now, I'd dive into a bath and just stay in the bath for about an hour. And not get out of the bath until I was shriveled up like a prune.
On the last day of the march, the Legionnaires' shooting skills are up for a test.
Have you slept well?
Yes, I slept well, of course.
Chaque cible, il a déjà 10 cartouches dedans. Les cibles de gauche, et ça vaut que 1 point, les cibles de gauche. Donc on va pas gaspiller votre technique de tireur d'élite sur les cibles qui vaut pas grand-chose.
The Legion use their own particular rifle, nicknamed Le Clarion, the bugle. The bugle is an ugly but very effective weapon, and has been used successfully in combat situations in all parts of the world. But firing the FAMAS, to give it its proper name, can be somewhat unsettling the first time around. With your face directly over the action, worries over the weapon self-destructing are bound to arise.
Azouz, je t'avais dit, tu tires dans le premier cible masqué. C'est quoi le premier cible masqué?
Ben, avec triangle orange, moi je...
Oui, ben toi tu es en train de tirer sur les autres, et pas celui avec triangle orange. Alors, fais ce que je te dis. The results of the shooting was not fantastic for the company. We're only the second company to pass, so we can't compare very well with the other companies. But it wasn't a very good result compared to the company that passed before us. But there are many reasons to that.
And why is that?
I'll explain that to you when I've got time to explain that to you, but right now I've got to get ready to march.
Adjutant Robenheimer is the special weapons instructor for the company. He's hoping to put to good use his 20 years' experience in the Legion by becoming a mercenary when he leaves. The Legion is an incredible social experiment. How do you get so many men from such diverse backgrounds to work together to form a unified killing machine? Of the Legion's 10 regiments, 3 are permanently based outside of France. 1 detachment is deployed in Mayotte. The 3rd Infantry is based in French Guiana. And the 13th Half Brigade has been stationed in Djibouti since 1982. The regiment consists of 800 men. Djibouti borders Eritrea, Ethiopia and Somalia, and is situated on Africa's Horn by the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, with the Arabian Peninsula on the other side. Previously under French rule, it gained its independence in 1977, but France still maintains a military presence there, along with American and Dutch forces, because it has great strategic importance, as it guards the entrance to the Suez Canal, and from here, troops can easily be deployed to any trouble spots in the Middle East or Central Africa. In Djibouti, the Legion has its toughest combat training center, CCAP, which offers perhaps the harshest military training that exists. The instructors and their methods are renowned and feared throughout the world. In Djibouti's hot climate and severe conditions, Legionnaires from all parts of the service train for conflicts in extreme desert situations. In combat, there is no room for failure, and the exercises are designed as intense physical and mental challenges.
Voilà, comme ça, à l'avant, à l'avant, à l'avant, à l'avant. Là, il faut pas arrêter. Allez, 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 allez. Voilà, allez, jusqu'au bout. T'arrêtes pas, t'arrêtes pas. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, continue. Allez, pousse. Allez, pousse.
Il faut s'accrocher avec les bras, pousser avec les jambes, et puis on arrive en haut.
Allez, c'est bon. Allez, laisse-toi. Non. Allez, repose-toi. OK.
All the training is watched over by one man, the legendary adjutant-chef, Marignac.
Regarde, tes pieds. Écoute-moi là. Tes pieds, comme t'as du mal, t'as l'arrache complet, d'accord? Voilà, à l'intérieur. Tu les bloques à l'intérieur. Oh, c'est bon, allez, c'est bon, allez. Descends. Allez, laisse-toi aller. C'est bon, tu descends. Tu descends par la corde, là, et tu rejoins le groupe au saut de Tarzan. Allez, c'est parti.
Parce que là, c'est pas évident, hein. Il faut être allongé sur la tyrolienne, laisser pendre une jambe naturellement et un genou replié sur soi-même.
Tu laisses ta jambe pendre naturellement. En avant, et tu déroules. Tu déroules. Serre-toi bien de ta jambe. Voilà. Pourquoi? Parce que le parcours, si tu serres que de tes bras, à la fin, tu es sec. Donc, il faut utiliser beaucoup les jambes, hein, pour conserver les bras intacts. D'accord? Voilà. Mais enfin, toi, t'as pas de problème, t'as les bras.
Hein? T'as les bras, toi? Non. Bon, t'as les bras. Allez, vas-y, 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 vas-y. Eh, plus rapide, c'est rapide, ça. Hein. En plus, c'est une tyrolienne qui descend légèrement. Hein. Voilà. Allez, tire sur les bras et sur la jambe arrière. Tu pousses avec ta jambe arrière et tu tires avec les bras. Tu pousses avec la jambe arrière, tu tires avec les bras. Tire sur ta jambe arrière. Et arrête de faire la grimace, là. Voilà. Regarde, t'as vu ton camarade derrière, il t'a rattrapé, là.
Alors, regardez ce qu'il faut faire, c'est avec la jambe arrière.
Go! Réfléchis pas, là, il n'y a rien à réfléchir. Là, c'est en avant.
Eh, laisse pendre ta jambe. Laisse... Allez, voilà, regardez. Regardez tous. C'est typique de quelqu'un qui n'écoute pas son instructeur. Laisse pendre ta putain de jambe. Laisse pendre ta jambe, là. Laisse-la pendre. Voilà. Et maintenant, tu viens. Allez, tire sur les bras et sur les jambes. Arrière. Laisse pendre ta putain de jambe, laisse-la pendre, là. Laisse-la pendre naturellement, là. Voilà. Et là, tu tombes pas, là. Ah là, il tombe. 2 fois, c'est bon. Voilà. Correct. Rétablissement. Laisse pas ta jambe. Voilà, regarde, t'es tordu, là. Et tu marches comme un crabe, là. Il faut être droit sur la tyrolienne. T'as vu? T'es tordu, là. C'est bon, mais c'est rien, ça. Allez, regarde. Allez, vas-y.
But today, not everyone is doing the hardcore training. For one man, it's back to more basic duties and a chance to reflect on his reasons for joining the Legion.
I come to the Legion because, like normal, I'm not a very... I'm a bit misbehaved in the past. I'm 22. I'm from South Wales in Great Britain. And right now I'm in Djibouti in North Africa. I come here because I got into a little bit of trouble with the police back in Great Britain. Because of my criminal record, I can't get a lot of work and a lot of good jobs, things like fire service, police, ambulance, army, I can't do because of my criminal record. So I get the work I do back in civil life is pretty crap. And now all the things that I come here to avoid doing, I'm doing exactly the same thing here, so. But it's all right, it's an interesting experience. I think the first 5 months of being in the Legion was the hardest. It was totally new way of life to adapt to. I see 3 different types of people who come to the Legion. There are the people who genuinely need to be here, like me, the people who are in trouble back home, the fly-by-night dreamers, the people who think they're going to be commandos, and the complete fucking lunatics, and they're best avoided. I knew it was going to be challenging because of the language, and some of the exercises and the training here, the terrain is pretty tough. The first 6 times I went in a plane, I didn't land in it. I jumped out. Can't do that sort of thing in civilian life. At least I can speak another language, and I suppose this is my ticket to the future. Maybe in the future, if I go for employment, whether I go back to Britain or I stay in France, maybe they'll put my criminal record to one side and look at what I've done in the Legion. Maybe.
There are many reasons for wanting to be a Legionnaire.
Au civil, quand j'étais pas militaire, la vie là c'était difficile parce que moi je viens de Brésil, je suis brésilien. Je suis arrivé en France à 17 ans avec ma mère. Et elle se mariait avec un Français. Et comme elle avait la carte des séjours, mais moi je ne pouvais pas avoir parce que j'ai fait déjà 18 ans. Et je ne pouvais pas être là-bas. Et il fallait que je sois à l'école. Mais c'était difficile parce que je ne parlais pas bien français. Et c'est pour ça qu'il n'y avait pas autre moyen. Et après, je me suis engagé à la Légion. Comme ça, je suis resté en France avec ma mère. Et je ne retourne pas au Brésil. Parce que là-bas, au Brésil, je ne pouvais pas faire grand-chose. Je n'avais pas de famille là-bas et tout. C'était difficile. C'est pour ça, là, ici, je suis bien. Comme ça, le mois, chaque mois, on touche une solde. Comment on dit la solde? Ah, l'argent. Et après, j'envoie la moitié à ma mère, comme ça, je l'aide chez moi, là, à la maison, et moi, l'autre moitié, je la garde. Comme ça, tous les deux, on est contents. Et c'est tout.
Regarde, si tu te mets assis là où t'étais là. Allez, suivant.
Je t'écoute. Assurance prêt. Départ. Parti.
Ben ouais, c'est fait 2 fois que tu le dis là.
Go.
En haut. Vise. Voilà, allez. Lâche. À la pédale, tu te démerdes maintenant, mon vieux. Démerde-toi là.
C'est moi. Il existe des femmes, mais...
Il existe des femmes en Roumanie? Je croyais qu'il y avait que Dracula là-bas, moi.
Des femmes ou des copines?
Copine.
Copines, oui. Chez moi, en Roumanie. Des femmes, il y en a aussi ici en ville, non?
Quoi, sur la copine? Non, moi je suis célibataire. Pour l'instant, je pense qu'il va sortir et c'est tout là. Après, on verra.
Donc ça, il
dans quelques temps.
In the Ivory Coast, the 3rd Company of the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment has joined the peacekeeping forces.
Vous pouvez filmer. Ça, c'est soldat d'élite Elite soldier, English.
Force spéciale de France.
Special Forces, France.
Section. Go.
Bien, à partir de l'issue du rassemblement embarquement et début de l'exercice Boli. Grosso modo, quelle est la situation de l'exercice? Dans les forces en présence, les FANSI ont renforcé leur dispositif suite à la sortie du processus de crise des FAFN, et s'apprêtent à rentrer à travers la zone de confiance pour aller mater un début de rébellion FAFN.
After regaining its independence from France in 1960, the Ivory Coast was ruled by Félix Houphouët-Boigny for 33 years. His time was one of growing prosperity and political stability for the country. But after his death in 1993, the nation slowly descended into chaos, with several military coups destabilizing an increasingly lawless country. Civil war broke out in the autumn of 2002, and French forces were sent in the same year. The war ended in 2005, but France has kept peacekeeping forces in the country, as tension remains high. Every village has a leader, and Rio's job is to sensitively gather information and quickly quell any fears.
Ça c'est bien.
C'est pas de problème? Pourquoi tu es venu ici?
C'est chez moi ici, c'est pas où il faut aller.
Non mais ici, là, t'avais de la famille ici?
Oui, j'ai ma famille ici, tout est ici.
D'accord.
Il m'a demandé s'il y a la paix ici, je lui ai dit oui, et que si éventuellement le gouvernement a démissionné, qu'est-ce que ça nous dit? Moi je leur ai dit que bon, on compte toujours sur eux et il faut qu'ils s'entendent afin que la paix revienne en Côte d'Ivoire. Que nous sommes fatigués de subir l'effet de la guerre.
Back at camp, Mazuz is on kitchen duty, preparing the evening meal. These moments of downtime are rare for a legionnaire, but a constant watch must be kept. A soldier will never know what his next move might be, and capture is always in imminent danger in a country renowned for hostage-taking during its civil war. But it's in these more reflective moments that friendships are forged that will serve them well in the heat of battle.
Allez, chante en anglais, Faustin. Ici, il y a de tout. Il y a des cuisiniers, des chanteurs, des brôleurs, tout ce que tu veux.
Très bon.
Si une femme cherche l'homme parfait, je crois qu'elle va venir arracher à la Légion.
The life of a legionnaire can be lonely, but whatever his past circumstances, he has the chance to start again, begin a new life. Today's legionnaire not only fights on the battlefield, but also fights for the hearts and minds of the people he's been entrusted to protect, bringing hope where there was despair. And for some legionnaires, there's a chance for their own salvation.
Hello, me old man. It's just your ginger annoying brat you know as son. Hope you're okay and the kids are fine. I'm okay, but a little stress with all the constant work. My dad, he never wanted me to come. And then I spoke to him, I told him why I wanted to come here. Because I've not got, obviously, people in the Legion, they don't come here because their life's great, they've come here because they've done something in the past or they've not got the best history in the world, and I was a bit of an idiot when I was young. And I explained to him why I wanted to come here, and he agreed with me, he said give it a go. And I've come here and now he's proud of me, he's really, really proud of me, my dad and my brother and all that. Hope you're okay and the kids are fine. I'm okay, but a little stress with all the constant work. You never get a rest, always on the go and on guard, but it's not too bad because I finish in 3 weeks and then I'll get some leave. I don't mind following the orders. I chose to come here. I chose to be the soldier here. Everything they tell me to do, it's my decision. I chose to come here. You're a volunteer in the Legion, and that's what they drill into your head all the time. But sometimes, you know, it's a job like any other, and sometimes you get told to things you don't want to do, and that annoys you, and that can really, because sometimes it's really. The guys that telling you what to do are idiots, and to be honest with you, I need to give you some stupid orders, and that's hard. The good things are you learn another language, you travel the world for free, you see places, even if they're like war countries, you see places that you'd never get to see in your life. And that kind of thing opens your eyes. It's hot as fuck today. I'm bright red, I look like a lobster, and I've lost a load of weight because I can't do much sport. But it's okay, because I'll get it back when I finish with it. For the first 6 or 7 months, it was very hard. I did want to go. For the first, I wanted to desert, I wanted to go home. I just couldn't. It was just hard work, stress, just stressing it every day. They get you up at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning when you've only had like 2 hours sleep because you've been on guard duty. They made me go through ice cold rivers at 3 o'clock in the morning, so that wasn't nice. But it's character building. We was training yesterday, we went on an helicopter and I took a few pictures, I'll send them you when I get back. Well, Africa's shit, I don't like it much, the people are lazy as fuck and that's why it's so fucked up. It always will be, but I don't give a shit, it's just the kids I feel sorry for.
glory, Man United! Glory, glory, Man United! Glory, glory, Man United! On the red go marching! On!
Anyway, I don't want to depress you, so whenever you feel down and you think life's pointless going on, just remember I've got a ginger head and can't get a fuck, and it's all your fault. But don't worry, I'm a strong lad, I can take it.
Bon, là c'était la chambre à Foster, et là c'était sa lit, c'était son coin à lui. Et là c'était son armoire, maintenant il est pris, il y avait sa affaire à deux caporaux, avant qu'il déserte. Voilà, il habite avec moi et il est un bon mec. Bon, je sais pas pourquoi il a fait ça.
Anyway, I'm off, so take care. Love, John. Me, I don't care. This first weekend to get back, I'm going to get pissed out my head.
First-class Legionnaire Foster decided to leave the Legion after 3 years of service. As a deserter, he will be in danger of imprisonment if caught in France. And he has lost the respect of his fellow Legionnaires forever. Elizabeth Nord has spent the last 3 years of her life trying to find an answer. Why do men want to leave their old lives behind them to join the strange and uncompromising world of the French Foreign Legion?
Join the Legion, live in the south of France, get paid to live in the south of France. What more could you ask for?
Notre Père, qui est aux cieux, que ton nom soit sanctifié, que ton règne vienne.
Embarquez! What is it that makes thousands of men a year apply to join this notoriously brutal and strict division of the French army? Is it escape?
Restez pas là-bas. Si vous tirez, c'est quelqu'un qui vous voit là.
Is it machismo?
C'est à moi d'assez. J'adore ça.
Allez, ton chercheur.
C'est du chocolat.
Too much work, not enough men. A nightmare.
Or is it the chance to belong to the famed and mythical home of heroes? The chance to fight with your brother in arms? Or the chance to prove you're tougher than the rest? Christmas time is a very special occasion for the family that is the Legion. But perhaps the most intense inter-company rivalry is to establish the company that can construct the finest Christmas crib.
On connaît l'affaire, donc c'est ici. La crèche, c'est ici.
Adjutant Robenheimer and his platoon have been chosen to represent the 3rd Company in this year's Christmas crib competition. These traditions to the outsider may seem insignificant, but within the Legion and amongst the soldiers, these customs carry great weight and responsibility.
I'm explaining the work that needs to be done for the crib and what we're going to build here. This man is going to be the priest who is actually going to be present in the crib.
Adjutant Robenheimer went to an English boarding school. Good preparation for the rigours of army life. While his parents wanted him to go to Oxford or Cambridge, he secretly dreamt of becoming a Legionnaire. He has achieved the highest rank possible for an NCO, commanding 4th Platoon, and now he's coming to the end of his time with the army. Captain Coutanzé is commanding the 3rd Company of the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment. He's put his faith in Robenheimer to win the Christmas crib competition.
So this morning the general commanding the Foreign Legion is going to come in the company for have a look of the preparation of the quetch and other works for Noel, for Christmas.
Robenheimer has an ambitious design for his crib, and the whole venture must be planned like a military campaign if he's to succeed.
And we're wasting time. Wasting time, losing time. Let go.
In his 20 years as a Legionnaire, Robenheimer has never won the contest. Could it be, in his last year as a serving soldier, that he could eventually realize this long-held ambition? But things have not begun well. He's very far behind on an already tight schedule.
We need some equipment to finish the creche properly, and so I'm going to go out and buy what we need for the creche. I left England pretty much after school, so I preferred the idea of joining the Legion in the British Army. The Legion at the time was a lot more attractive than the British Army, because at the time when I joined we were still in the Cold War, and the British Army was Germany and Northern Ireland, neither of which were particularly interesting, and the Legion was in Africa and running around doing all sorts of interesting things.
In Djibouti, in Africa, the Legion has its toughest combat training centre, CCAP, which offers perhaps the harshest military training that exists. The instructors and their methods are renowned and feared throughout the world.
Laisse pendre ta putain de jambe, laisse-la pendre là.
Snipers work in pairs, often drop behind enemy lines. They are the eyes and ears of a detachment. A fully trained sniper can take out a target from over 2 kilometers away.
We are specialized like a sniper training. So we are for 3-4 on the field, and everything we need, it's in our sec. We don't change clothes, everything, because it's very important to be strictly necessary.
Battez la main. Dès que t'arrives en position, c'est bon. Ok. Tu utilises tout le fort. Niet, tranquille, fluide, suis, ok. Deuxième chose, dès que vous tirez, changement de position tout de suite.
Send 2 people out there. You give them a map, some coordinates, and they go out there, they take every information, and they can take out if it needs someone, or maybe they can coordinate an air attack or a field attack, no problem. For that, this is one of the most important things what the army has.
Changement de position. Restez pas là-bas. Si vous tirez, c'est quelqu'un qui vous voit là.
Tire de décompte, 5, 4, 2, 1.
They must be slow and graceful. Any sudden movement can alert the enemy and lead to instant discovery and almost certain death. Because of his Legion training, after he leaves the army, a sniper can command rich contracts as a covert operator in the murky world of the hired mercenary. Robenheimer's army of helpers are working around the clock to try to save the company's entry into this year's crib competition.
The Legion tradition of doing creches is it's a Legion tradition amongst all the others. And like all our traditions, needs to be respected, because when you lose one, you start losing the rest. And it's very difficult to pinpoint which of the traditions are important and which of the traditions are a waste of time. And I think we've already lost some traditions, and that hasn't done us a lot of good. The Legion evolves with the world it's living in, and the world that we live in is a very individualistic world,
where everyone is allowed to do whatever they want and be responsible for nothing. And the Legion is nothing to do with that. The Legion is about everyone is responsible for everyone else, and no one is allowed to do what they want. Everyone must do what they're supposed to do, which is completely in contradiction with the world today, today's moral values in the Western world. And so the traditions that we have help us to keep some of those moral values.
What is a man searching for when he enlists in the French Foreign Legion? Sanctuary?
Notre Père qui est aux cieux.
Brotherhood? Identity? In Djibouti, in Africa, the Legion has its toughest combat training center, CCAP. Armies from all over the world use this renowned facility. Captain Alio, the leader of the CCAP Combat Training Center in Djibouti, keeps a watchful eye over its combatants.
On se retrouve tout de suite après le rassemblement dans le Faré. Capot!
This is the ultimate examination for any soldier.
Ok, mettez-vous ici face à moi. On va revoir une dernière fois le schéma du principe ce matin du travail de l'exercice parcours de tir réel de ce matin. Les Farés, plage des Italiens, le champ de tir. Premier temps, les 3 bateaux seront ici. Se mettre en appui, ici, face ici. Pas de questions?
It is in this exercise that the Legionnaire will be tested on all the drills and maneuvers he's practiced in the 3 weeks of his combat training.
Ce jeu de matin, c'est la qualité, la qualité.
For the last 21 days, under the leadership of Captain Alio, the men have practiced shooting for cover and managing their ammunition. Firstly, they will demonstrate they've learned how to shoot safely and correctly from a boat. This is the ultimate examination for any soldier.
Disposition combat, armes et sûreté.
Now, under pressure, they must keep their heads cool.
Bon, là, on en a la première phase de la manip, de l'exercice. En fait, on est en attente au large. On a un groupe qui est parti se mettre en bateau en appui. On attend son compte rendu pour savoir s'il a décelé de l'ennemi ou non. Et s'il a décelé de l'ennemi, on va continuer notre reconnaissance en engageant éventuellement le combat.
C'est un moi d'assist, j'adore ça.
Look, the sea, the sun, military, the famous, beautiful life. Sure.
Disposition combat pour tout le monde.
Ok, appelez là-haut, demandez si la prise en place. Attention, la ramasse.
Débit coup par coup, distance environ 200 mètres.
Il y a deux Zodiacs qui vont arriver par la plage. Effectif une section. Débarquer sur la plage, prendre la plage d'assaut.
2 Zodiac boats attack the enemy beach. Using live ammunition, the group on the hill will act as backup and give covering fire as the sections disembark.
Les 4 cibles au bord de la plage, vous ne tirez pas jusqu'à moi dans les ordres.
They will have to implement correctly, with great speed and fluency, all the skills that they've been taught. In combat, there is no room for failure, and the exercises are designed as intense physical and mental challenges.
Débarquez!
fois que l'assaut est fini, fouille de zone. Ensuite, rembarquement dans le Zodiac. Et au moment où ils embarquent, les gens qui sont ici appuient l'embarquement de la section. Voilà, c'est quelque chose de simple, rapide, efficace.
En appui! Chef, on décroche, premier groupe. Tout le monde en appui! Ça tire! Dégoupillé, fumigène, c'est bon!
After the attack is finished, they must re-embark using smoke grenade screens as cover, and advancing in combat in a synchronized way, whilst remembering to keep in their line formations.
Objectif dans le premier rideau fumigène. Fumigène. Allez, premier rideau de fumigène en place. Attendez le deuxième.
Endro!
Préparez le deuxième rideau et chacun balance devant lui. En avant!
Allez, feu!
C'est pas grave, allez, allez, allez! Embarquez!
Stefanski pour toi, les premières, s'il vous plaît! Finissez le chargeur qui était prévu là!
Consommation 50%.
Levez les chargeurs, coup de sécurité.
Ok, coupe le moteur. C'était bien, mais il y a deux choses qui me gênent. Pourquoi on jette des fumigènes? Pourquoi? Pour pouvoir partir en étant caché. Alors si vous ne jetez pas la fumigène devant vous et que vous attendez pas qu'il y ait de la fumée, regardez, regardez, on a le temps. Il faut attendre qu'il y ait de la fumée et après on part. Si vous jetez et que vous partez, l'ennemi vous tire. Donc il ne faut pas être pressé. On jette le fumigène à 10 mètres, on attend que ça fume bien. À un moment donné, vous avez vu, il y avait un trou. Il y en a un qui n'a pas jeté devant lui. Ok, le sergent, il est obligé d'en jeter un autre. Ça, c'est pas bon. Ok, combien il reste de fumigène? Il reste combien en tout?
1, 2, 0.
Les munitions, c'est bon? Vous avez géré? Ok, écoutez-moi bien. Écoutez-moi bien. Je donne l'ordre à tout le monde, quand on est presque arrivé à la plage, de tirer toutes les munitions. Toutes les munitions.
Robenheimer is also on a mission.
That's going to be for the sunset. Good lighting works, bad lighting is a disaster.
Even with the general due to inspect the unfinished crib, and the possibility that they might not be able to proceed, Robenheimer can see light at the end of the tunnel. Lieutenant Rioux is also making festive plans. This is his 4th Christmas as platoon leader, having joined the Legion direct from France's prestigious military academy, Saint-Cyr.
For the next week, we have 3 main activities. First, the crib. Secondly, the sketch for the Christmas night. And finally, the Christmas platoon bar.
Je suis brésilien. Moi, j'étais chez moi, j'ai fait l'armée chez moi et j'avais envie de rester. Il n'y avait pas de place. Alors, et un jour, j'étais à Internet, tac, je ne sais pas pourquoi, est venu dans ma tête le mot Légion étrangère. Même pas qu'est-ce que c'est, passeport. Et là, j'étais là-bas et voilà, c'est 2 ans, 3 mois, je suis là. Enfin, on ne sait pas si on a des soldats ou si on a des On est dans une école en train de faire des maquettes, quoi, un truc de fou. Moi, je préférais bien être sur le terrain là, en train de faire d'entraînement, quoi, pas ici en train de faire des maquettes, quoi.
Captain Kutansé is in charge of discipline, so it's a nervous wait for 3 Legionnaires outside the captain's office. One waits for promotion, but is his French good enough? A Legionnaire must learn to speak French from the moment he enlists. Otherwise, he's severely dealt with. The Legion protects its own. They will give you a new identity if that helps you break with the past. And if you prove yourself, you can then apply to have your real name back.
Légionnaire de première casatement. 1 an, 6 mois de service. 3e compagnie. Section d'ultra envoyé. Fonction pilote VAB. À vos hommes, mon capitaine.
Parce que bientôt je vais en stage caporal. Il m'a dit ça.
Bon, tellement il y a eu un désistement, enfin un problème médical à la compagnie, d'accord. Donc ton tour de CE avance.
C'est mon niveau de français, c'est pour moi ça suffit, mon capitaine. Je parle français un peu. Je peux expliquer mon problème. Ouais. Je sais bien.
Je me donne mon nom, la vraie nom de civil.
Donc tu vas lire consciencieusement ton papier, d'accord, de façon à ce que ton nom ne soit pas écorché pendant 1 an. Tu lis, d'accord, tu vérifies l'orthographe.
On va donner les noms, c'est tout. Je vais signer un papier et c'est bon.
Ouais, correct.
The 3rd Legionnaire wants permission to buy a car.
Sergent Mitichnikov, 5 ans, 3 mois de service, 6 mois de grade, 3e compagnie, section de lieutenant, fonction, chef de groupe, Je me réponds,
In the Legion, for the first 5 years of service, a soldier cannot buy a car, a mobile phone, or even get married without permission from his commanding officer.
Mon capitaine, est-ce que je peux demander autorisation pour acheter un véhicule?
Ok. Allez, fais patate, fais exploser.
For a platoon leader to lose one of his soldiers dampens the Christmas spirit. For any family to lose one of its sons is a tragedy. To desert from the Legion is failure and breaks the bond of brotherhood that makes the Legion strong.
So when one legionnaire flee, we have to write a paper like this with different information about him, because this night one of my legionnaires flee. So I have to do this paper now.
The Legion consists of so many young men from so many different cultures and countries. Their reasons for coming as myriad as their reasons for staying. All have left their old family behind to join the Legion. What binds the Legion together is its codes and customs. It's these rituals that unites the family of the Legion. General Pichot de Champfleury is simply the father of the Legion. This will be his 15th year spent amongst his soldiers, but his first as a general in charge. In the Legion, a general is allowed to serve only 3 years. But in his short tenure, he will look to encourage and support his sons, the Legionnaires.
Il va falloir que je t'envoie en stage au bagne à la musique, toi. J'ai eu peur que tu n'arrives pas à la fin des sonneries.
Légionnaire Pavel Popescu, 2 ans, 15 mois de service, 5e compagnie, section de l'honneur de Carpentier, fonction tireur ennemi, à vos ordres général.
The general commanding the Foreign Legion is used to coming into all regiments, all Legion regiments, about twice or 3-4 times in a year.
La visite du général qui commande la Légion
pour Noël, pour les légionnaires, c'est le père de famille qui vient voir un peu ses enfants. Je ne viens pas pour les voir travailler, ça j'ai d'autres occasions dans l'année pour le faire. Je viens simplement pour leur dire, je suis avec vous, au milieu de vous, et on va tous faire Noël ensemble. C'est la mise en condition pour passer des super fêtes de Noël et une super soirée de Noël, tous ensemble. Ouais, donc vous êtes rentré mardi, donc ça fait 2 jours que vous êtes là.
Voilà, et depuis 2 jours, tout le monde travaille.
Et en 2 jours, vous avez déjà lancé tout ça, quoi.
Oui.
Et vous allez travailler toute la journée, probablement un peu pendant la nuit.
With the general's inspection underway and all the other platoon cribs near completion, Robenheimer still has nothing to show for all his efforts.
Not good. Not good. Too much work. Not enough men. Too much work, not enough men. A nightmare.
Everything is under control.
The Legion march at 88 paces per minute, rather than the usual 120. This has been a strong Legion tradition throughout the ages.
Comme ça, clac, clac. Comme ça fait un truc dense, assez solide.
While the general is enjoying the Christmas crib presentations from the other companies, Robenheimer is not yet nearly ready.
Fais tu réalises des sentons, toi? Avec tes gros doigts et tes gros bras, tu fais des sentons aussi fins?
De Saint-Joseph, je suis assez impressionné.
Attends, on va me le chercher là, on va voir. Parce que montre en moi. Et il y a combien de personnages dans ta crèche? Tu vas en faire combien des sentons?
3 rois mages, Gaspard, Melchior et Balthazar, Joseph, Vierge Marie bien sûr, petit Jésus, et puis on va voir combien ça me reste encore à Argile.
Tu es de quelle nationalité?
Je suis polonais.
Polonais. C'est du chocolat. Bravo. Mais le plus important, c'est le moment où on fait la crèche. Parce que c'est l'idée c'est le moment où l'idée jaillit, c'est la cohésion de toute l'équipe, de toute la section pour monter tout ça. C'est les différents talents qui se conjuguent pour sortir un projet final abouti. C'est ça qui est...
Ouais, non, mais c'est...
à la limite, quand elle est faite...
En fait, c'est génial de regarder.
Ouais.
On va aller voir les projets de la première.
Capitaine Guéry, commandant la première compagnie, à aux Étrangères.
Bonjour.
Mais devant.
Là, il y a eu des combats là. Il y a les étuis de munitions qui sont ouverts. Il y a un bidon qui a explosé. Et toi, tu as déjà fait des crèches? C'est la première fois. D'accord. Ça te plaît? Tu fais quoi dans la crèche, toi? Tu as compris ma question?
Qu'est-ce que tu as préparé pour la crèche? Les arbres, Oui.
Je dis oui pour me faire plaisir. Toi, tu as fait quoi dans la crèche? Toi, quoi? Tu as fait quoi?
J'ai fait là-bas.
Là-bas? Oui. Ça?
Non. Là-bas, le sol.
D'accord, le sol. D'accord. Allez, je te souhaite bonne chance. Et l'année prochaine, tu parleras un peu mieux français, hein, sinon...
Oui, moi j'ai là.
Tu ne seras pas caporal. Ok. Allez, c'est parti. On y va. Joyeux Noël.
Christmas is stressful for all families, including Robenheimer's family of men working flat out to be ready for the competition.
Mon impression, c'est je suis toujours émerveillé par la quantité d'amour et d'énergie qu'ils mettent dans l'élaboration des crèches. Ils ont une imagination, ils ont un souci du détail. Moi, je suis toujours éberlué. Des années après, je ne me lasse pas d'aller voir leur crèche et surtout de me faire expliquer comment les idées leur en sont venues et qu'est-ce que ça rappelle chez eux dans leur vie antérieure. Et ainsi de suite, voilà.
The general is due at any moment and could possibly close the whole operation down if Robenheimer cannot persuade him that his crib will be completed by Christmas Eve.
crèche, la troisième partie, deuxième en cours de création, armes en général.
Elle est en cours de création. Alors elle va ressembler à quoi là? Je vois des avions, je vois des VAB.
Alors le thème c'est ça s'intitule La dernière prière.
La dernière prière.
La dernière
avant
prière.
quoi?
Avant l'extinction de la vie d'un vieux padre missionnaire à l'Afrique et qui va remémorer un peu certains événements où les légionnaires sont venus. Donc là on aura un petit tableau opération Taco. Ici il y aura l'opération Pélican. Et puis l'opération Côte d'Ivoire. Licorne en Côte d'Ivoire.
Qui c'est qui a eu l'idée?
C'est mon idée là.
D'accord. Et eux, ils réalisent. Ils sont
des ouvriers qui bossent comme des malades. Faire avancer. Et le padré, c'est.
Vous savez qu'il faut qu'elle soit prête pour le 24 quand même. Hein,
on va bosser jusqu'à minuit, je pense.
Okay. Allez, mais c'est bon. Courage et puis continuez.
Je m'inquiète pas pour le 24, mais ça ne fait pas d'illusion sur leurs horaires.
Ouais. Vous allez faire 35 heures en 2 jours, quoi, c'est ça?
Je pense, oui.
Voilà, c'est bien. D'accord. Allez, je vous souhaite bonne chance.
Merci.
Joyeux Noël à l'avance de la part du général qui commande la Légion. Allez, au revoir et bonne chance.
Merci. Ah oui. This crèche is coming on, but we are now the 22nd and it's got to be finished in 48 hours.
The Djibouti obstacle course has prepared the company for skirmishes in Somalia and Rwanda. Lessons learned here will be invaluable to the serving soldier who finds himself in the midst of conflict.
Les gars, quand vous arrivez déjà à mon niveau, vous serrez bien les nous.
Hein? Bon, aujourd'hui, là, on vient de finir l'exercice de groupe. Bon, ça veut dire il faut qu'on fasse tout le monde ensemble, groupé. Parce qu'ici, on essaye de faire individuel, ça ne marche pas. C'est trop difficile. J'ai déjà essayé, ça n'a pas marché.
Y a-t-il des blessés depuis ce matin? Personne qui est blessé depuis ce matin? Non? 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 Ok.
The team have to complete the course in less than an hour. In daytime, with an instructor, the task is grueling enough. But a true legionnaire must be able to complete the course at night, under a blanket of impenetrable darkness, forbidden to communicate with anyone. In this situation, the task is treacherous.
Mettez-vous plus à droite, plus à droite.
The course tests the legionnaires' ability to work together, to call on unknown reserves of strength.
Vous avez compris? Un qui monte sur l'épaule, il garde les poignets, comme ça il peut pousser, parce qu'en même temps on tire et eux ils poussent. Allez, je te monte, tu passes les sons par les... Allez.
In a timed test, over a similar course in French Guiana, a Legionnaire unit took 45 minutes to complete the test, whereas the US Marines took 7 hours. The record is 32 minutes.
Eh, toi, il faut que tu gardes les ongles. Qu'est-ce que tu fais là-bas?
These legionnaires of the 13th Half Brigade in Djibouti owe their brave reputation as a notable fighting force to the legionnaires of 1940. In Norway, the regiment battled through freezing temperatures to turn the tide of the Second World War.
Vers la Norvège du Nord. Un de nos convois de troupes vogue, escorté par des bâtiments de guerre français et anglais.
Norway, with its long Atlantic coast, was considered a zone of destiny by Hitler. And the city of Narvik was in particular of strategic importance, as German munitions factories were dependent on Swedish iron ore shipped from the port. The 13th Half Brigade was deployed by France to help take back the city. It was to be the first direct land confrontation between the Allies and the Nazis. While the British Navy gave covering fire, the 13th Half Brigade landed at Bjerkvik, just outside of Narvik. They moved toward the city together with a battalion of Norwegian Defence Forces. In one of the most heroic moments of the Half Brigade's history, they drove the Germans out of Narvik and towards the Swedish border.
Les bombes tombent sur la ville. Le pire est à craindre car l'incendie trouve une proie facile avec les maisons de 2 étages.
But news that Hitler had invaded France caused the immediate withdrawal of the Legion, and the momentum was lost. However, such damage had been done to the German forces that Hitler's plans to invade Britain had to be halted. Also, without the supply of Swedish iron ore, German war production was set back. Although Hitler regained control of Narvik in the end, the bravery of the legionnaires of the 13th Half Brigade is still remembered today with awe and admiration.
Tire. Et seulement d'où qui passe à l'autre côté.
Le dernier, il amène la corde avec lui, ok? Parce que là, c'est le deuxième.
Allez.
Ouais.
Et vous tenez l'échelle, ainsi.
It's the morning of Christmas Eve, and the final fateful day of the crib competition. For most legionnaires, it's the breaking of a new day. But for first-class legionnaire Moreira, it's the closing of a very long night.
C'est pas le top, quoi.
Tu travailles toute la nuit,
non? Non, j'étais en ville. Faut voir la copine, quoi. Allez, à tout à l'heure.
For the first 5 years of service, legionnaires must live in dorms in the confines of their barracks. It can make it very difficult to have a normal social life.
Morning. I'm not of the morning.
Pas aux 7 heures, pas avant 7 heures. Après le premier café, bien sûr.
Legionnaires are allowed to leave the regiments if they're not on duty.
Si on commence toujours trop tôt là, mais on n'a pas des horaires pour finir, quoi. C'est comme ça. Il faut être militaire, mais il faut être civil en même temps. Sinon, ça marche pas trop, là. Après, on devient trop dur dans la tête, là. C'est pas bien. C'est pas ça que je veux, là, tout le temps. J'ai envie bien d'avoir une famille, là, aussi, sinon... Si on est 100% militaire, là, après, ça marche pas.
Robenheimer studies the panel of distinguished judges. He hopes to impress them with his crib by portraying past missions in Chad, Congo and the Ivory Coast.
Now, if we've done something that's completely different, that's great, because that will grab their attention and they'll think, wow, it's great. If they're completely bored and we do another thing, they've already seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 others the same, they'll just go, So, we can take a look at what's been done so far, and we should now be almost ready. Crèche, troisième compagnie, section d'appui, and here there is still work going on because the VAB is not working terribly well. The VAB is the centerpiece. It's the grand finale of our creche. This is the soundtrack that I spent all afternoon and all night yesterday making. This part works. It's the sound is nice. We've got the volume sorted out. We've got an acceptable sound system. Problem is just getting that VAB to work properly.
Robenheimer is having to rely on 2 young German recruits for the successful outcome of his pièce de résistance in the competition. He's hoping that the renowned Teutonic methodical and mechanical expertise will save the day. For observers, the Christmas crib competition may seem superficial, but for Robenheimer, it gives him a chance to leave a mark, the merest dimple in the sand of time that is the history of the Legion.
38 and 19 and a half years in the Legion is quite old. I'll be 39 when I leave. I'll still be young. Even if there were English speakers in my platoon, I would still speak French to them. The Slovak is in my section as well. He also has a very poor level in French, and he prefers to speak with Slovakian friends and then try and mix with someone. I mean, if he spoke to a Chineseman, that would do fine, because they'd obviously have to end up speaking French. So he can speak to anyone he wants. He shouldn't speak to his fellow Slovakians, but he does. So he's well behind on French. And he's not helping himself, and his friends aren't helping him by talking to him in Slovakian. But he doesn't realise that. But that's quite common, actually. Legionnaires not realising that they're doing themselves harm by not speaking French. And after a couple of years, they suddenly say, wow, I'm still treated as the dumb idiot. And I don't think I'm a dumb idiot. Why am they treating me like a dumb idiot? They're nasty. That's one solution. Or the other solution is, why are they treating me like a dumb idiot? Well, perhaps because I don't understand the word they're saying. And if I could understand a bit more of what they're saying, they might be treating me a bit more like the intelligent human beings I am.
It's Christmas Eve and the day of the final. The doors are open and the dignitaries are arriving to judge the cribs. All Robenheimer can do is wait and hope and pray.
Ils ont rentré dans quelle porte?
Ici? This morning we have chosen the white quetch, which will of course win the competition. All is made with fingers of legionnaires, and this is, for me, it is one of the most important points of the quetch. It must not be a quetch with money, and the point of the legionnaire, the quality of the legionnaire, is to adapt and to create something from quite nothing. We have planned something for the women. We have put some handkerchief next to chairs for when they're going to cry.
Joyeux Noël. Salut.
Notre Père, qui est aux cieux, que ton nom soit sanctifié, que ton règne vienne, que ta volonté soit faite sur la terre comme au ciel. Oui, Seigneur, ta volonté sur cette terre africaine, que tu sais combien je l'ai aimée. Même, Seigneur, dans les heures les plus sombres, où tout semblait perdu, tu ne m'as pas abandonné, ni moi, ni tes fidèles. Et même parfois, tu nous as envoyé des gens pour nous sauver, des hommes rudes, des hommes de guerre, mais qui sont venus nous apporter la paix. Quand j'étais au Tchad, après l'indépendance, quand des bandes rebelles venaient semer la terreur et la mort dans le pays, bien des années plus tard, au Congo, là,
on se croyait vraiment abandonné de tous. Et pourtant, tout nous a pas oubliés. Quand j'ai vu ces légionnaires et leurs avions, je croyais voir un cohorte de tes anges qui venaient du ciel. Aux Côtes d'Ivoire, juste avant que je vienne me retirer ici, cette guerre civile, si terrible, si meurtrière, les attaques contre les étrangers, qu'ils soient français ou autres, ou simplement l'étranger de l'autre tribu. Là encore, c'était ces braves, ces légionnaires qui sont venus repatrier les uns, séparer les autres, toujours protéger les plus faibles, les plus démunis, face à cette violence, cette haine. Seigneur, bénissez-les, ces hommes qui viennent toujours pour sauver, comme tu es venu aussi pour nous sauver. Tu es venu sur cette terre, tu es devenu homme en cette nuit de Noël, il y a 2000 ans. Tu es venu, Jésus, pour nous sauver de nos péchés, et tu t'es offerte en sacrifice pour que nous puissions vivre comme ces légionnaires, prêts à l'ultime sacrifice. Merci, mon Dieu.
Mon général, mesdames, messieurs, sous-officiers, les caporales et légionnaires de la section à pied de la 3e compagnie vous souhaitent un joyeux Noël et très bonne année 2007.
C'est difficile hein, de choisir.
C'est très facile de choisir.
Allez, d'accord.
Everything worked.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tout à fait. Everything worked like it was supposed to. Now it's up to the jury to decide whether they like what they saw or not. But the effect that I tried to achieve was achieved. Now, to wait and see.
As Robenheimer nervously waits, the judges confer. As Christmas Eve slips into Christmas Day, Robenheimer learns that he's finished second in the contest. Through his presentation, he's honored the men that have gone before him and given their lives in the service of the Legion. The Legion is your family and will always be your home. At Christmas time, there is only one place to be for a Legionnaire, and that is with his family. Elizabeth Nord has spent the last 3 years of her life trying to find an answer. Why do men want to leave their old lives behind them to join the strange and uncompromising world of the French Foreign Legion? What is it that makes thousands of men a year apply to join this notoriously brutal and strict division of the French army? Is it escape? Is it machismo? Or is it the chance to belong to the famed and mythical home of heroes?
It's not because I'm leaving the Legion in a month's time that this is my last Cameroon. The last Cameroon, I think, is the one before you die, basically.
The chance to fight with your brother in arms.
Vos gueules, je veux plus rien entendre. 12 ici, 13 ici. Quand c'est bon, vous rendez compte.
Or the chance to prove you're tougher than the rest. King Louis-Philippe created the French Foreign Legion in 1831. It was established to protect and expand his colonial empire without the spilling of a drop of pure French blood. Men from all over the world have left their pasts behind to start a new life and gain a fresh identity in this notoriously brutal and strict division of the French army. Only a chosen few, the best of the best, are admitted. They face the ultimate physical and mental challenge in a recruitment process that changes them forever as they become brothers in the Legion. They follow in the footsteps of their mythical predecessors who lived and died by the motto, first in, last out. The Legion is constantly training for conflict. The 3rd Company is taking part in a large exercise with the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment. Over 2 days, they will practice taking out an enemy in 2 very different scenarios, one in a forest and one in a city. Lieutenant Ryu leads his platoon during the exercise. A French officer, the ambitious Ryu joined the Legion directly from the famed military academy at Saint-Cyr, and he hopes to make captain very soon. These exercises will be a test of his leadership skills.
Donc actuellement, le régiment est en reconnaissance offensive dans la forêt des Palanges. Le régiment donc, est aligné. Le point particulier, c'est la coordination. 1 entre les compagnies et 2 entre les sections, entre les groupes, entre les légionnaires. Donc jusqu'au plus bas niveau, en fait, il faut assurer une étanchéité du dispositif, faire dépasser par l'ennemi, qui à ce moment-là pourrait mener un combat d'imbrication en nous prenant à revers.
In the large forests just outside of Rodez, the Legionnaires' mission is to take out an enemy. For the Legionnaires, these exercises are long, lasting up to several days, testing their endurance and focus over an extended period. They may not ever see the enemy, but they must constantly be alert.
Pour faire bouger tout un régiment, c'est long. Donc peut-être qu'il y aura un peu d'action un peu plus haut, mais nous, ça ne nous concernera pas. Donc il va falloir qu'on se réaligne à chaque fois. Non, c'est long, c'est long. Puis toute la journée, ça se trouve, il n'y aura rien du tout pour nous, quoi. Tout va se passer un peu plus haut ou un peu plus bas. On va attendre.
Ok, donc je suis sergent Toletti, nationalité française, 35 ans, actuellement sous-officier adjoint à la 1re section, 3e compagnie, 2e rue.
By law, the Legion can only comprise of foreigners, but a French national may recruit under a different identity and nationality.
Non, mais disons que je me suis engagé à la Légion pour, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, hein, pour servir une élite. Donc moi j'ai toujours aimé le métier des armes. J'ai été tutoyé, comme on peut dire, l'armée française. Ça m'a plu plus ou moins, je ne vais pas jeter la pierre à l'armée française, je ne vais pas cracher dans la soupe. Mais j'ai préféré venir servir à la Légion pour connaître vraiment l'élite. Si t'as du jeu ou t'as pas de jeu, je sais pas.
Si t'as confiance.
Ma mission à moi, c'est de te piquer tes 2 allumettes qui te restent.
Non, je balance mes cartes.
Mais
par contre, si je gagne, c'est moi qui prends les allumettes.
Mais non, tu balances tes cartes, regarde, Fazeria, on n'a pas vu son jeu. Lui, il s'est arrêté là.
Ouais, c'était mieux. Ah, mais comment je fais pour voir votre jeu?
Eh ben, tu vois pas.
Tu vois pas.
For Sergeant Kazan, the thoughts drift towards home as he recently became a father.
Ah ouais, avant Noël, ouais. Donc ma femme, au bout de 7 mois de grossesse, a failli d'accoucher. Donc elle est restée pendant 1 mois allongée, avec 1 semaine d'hôpital, et 1 mois allongée à la maison. Donc elle a passé Noël allongée, donc c'était un peu difficile. Bon, j'ai réussi à être là pour la naissance, quoi. Donc il est né le 13 février, donc il s'appelle Maxence. Il faisait 3,7 kg pour 51 cm, donc c'était un beau bébé quand même. Mais bon, je l'ai vu qu'1 semaine, parce qu'après on a dû partir sur le terrain, et j'ai hâte de rentrer justement pour le revoir, quoi. Ouais. Moi j'espère que mon fils me le fera pas payer plus tard, comme quoi j'étais pas assez souvent là. Non, ma femme avait très bien compris.
Ben, après Noël, je passais en grade. C'était un peu dehors, froid, mais ça va, ça passe.
Hey Mazou, arrange ta tenue, ferme ta Gore-Tex, parce que en marchant. Ok, tu vas partir d'ici. passe par là. Ça, ils peuvent venir que de là, c'est un sens unique. 13, ici 11 par là.
In Rodez, in the south of France, 4 companies of the regiment are going to attack and clear the city. One company will be the enemy, providing fierce opposition to the others.
Normalement, ils sont derrière. Voilà, 10 ici 11, donc il y a un problème radio parce que ça fait 10 minutes, là j'arrive à avoir personne. Donc.
It's not an unusual view for the people of the south of France to see soldiers training as they go about their daily business.
Ah là là. Qu'est-ce qu'on s'ennuie, hein?
Action! Peut-être. On n'a pas depuis 3 heures du matin.
De coordination.
Sergeant Toletti is in charge of the discipline in Lieutenant Riou's platoon. He demands from the Legionnaires that they follow the 7 points of the Legionnaires' code, which is summed up in the motto, honor and fidelity.
Tant qu'ils sont réglo, nous leur demandons une seule chose. Surtout à la section, on marche comme ça, on leur demande une seule chose, c'est d'être réglo. C'est pas essayer de nous faire des entourloupes, de nous cacher des choses que de toute façon on va savoir. Donc on préfère que ce soit eux directement qui nous disent si par exemple ils ont fait une banane le week-end, une connerie comme ça, un jour ou l'autre, on va le savoir. Donc à la section on marche comme ça.
The Legion must be prepared for all kinds of situations, and the exercise in the city of Rodez drills the Legionnaires in basic maneuvers for conflict in urban areas, such as riots or terror attacks.
Il y a 5 étages, plus un sous-sol. La 4 a pris le sous-sol et le premier étage, enfin le rez-de-chaussée. Comme ils doivent se barrer par un OHP, on va prendre la suite. Attention, il y a des pièges, des portes piégées, etc. Donc les étages amis. D'accord. Bon, allez putain, là on va se faire reculer, sinon on va se faire tirer comme des lapins là, tant qu'on peut pas rentrer là.
Legionnaires have varied backgrounds, and first-class Legionnaire Rombert used to work as a model. He understands the realities of war and would be unfazed if asked to fight.
Concernant la guerre, beaucoup de gens me posent la question, justement, s'il m'arriverait de partir en guerre, qu'est-ce que je ferais? La guerre, c'est partout. La guerre, c'est en Afghanistan, en Afrique, en France, même où j'habite, à Paris, c'est tous les jours la guerre. Parce que j'habite dans une cité, donc je me dis, soit je prends une balle perdue, je rentre à la maison, je cherchais du pain, je rentre à la maison, je pourrais autant prendre une balle que je me bats pour mon pays. Mon pays, c'est la France. Donc si demain, je suis amené à partir en guerre, oui, je partirai en guerre.
Allez, go, 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 go.
Premier étage, ami. Deuxième étage, ennemi. Premier étage, ami.
Non, heureusement que vous avez dit 4e, quoi. Par ici, on est jalonné. Premier étage ami, deuxième étage ennemi.
Vous êtes jalonné?
Oui.
Ton groupe ici, ok? Tout ça, groupe par ici.
Voilà.
Là, viens.
Et voilà. Non, vos gueules. Je veux plus rien entendre. 12 ici, 13 ici. Quand c'est bon, vous vous rendez compte. C'est bon ou pas? Face là-bas.
Non mais regarde, viens voir. Ryu. Il faut laisser un appui là, de la section. Il ne faut pas les laisser partir. Chaque fois, c'est pareil, le chef de groupe de tête, il se barre et il les coupe. C'est qui C'est qui ça?
Les deux. Donc pour l'instant, vous restez sur la position et vous mettez une équipe en appui face à l'étage supérieur. D'accord? Pour ne pas me faire prendre en retard. Moi, je suis avec 12, je vais reconnaître la fin de cette position.
Oui, 13, vous restez en appui face à l'escalier.
Donc on est des professionnels et je ne peux pas me poser des questions, je ne peux pas dire que si jamais il y aura une guerre, un conflit, je ne pourrais pas faire face. Et déjà, je regarde autour de moi, je vois tous ces légionnaires et je peux dire que voilà, je suis prêt. Je vais aller à n'importe quelle mission et faire n'importe quelle mission. La genou à terre face à l'objectif.
Legionnaires have joined the Legion voluntarily. It has been their choice to live under the strict codes and customs of the Legion. They have to obey orders and must go to war and risk their lives.
La guerre, emmène une guerre partout. Que ce soit à l'école, on lutte pour pouvoir réussir, que ce soit dans notre quartier, que ce soit dans le ghetto ou autre, la guerre, elle est partout. Donc, Afghanistan, s'ils ont besoin de nous, eh ben, on ira leur prêter main forte. Donc, la guerre, elle est partout. Oui, j'irai.
In Djibouti, Africa, it's an early morning for the Legionnaires. The morning whistle goes at 4:45. The temperature seldom falls below 25 degrees Celsius at night, and during the day it can often reach over 45 degrees. Because of this intense heat, the Legionnaires start their day early to finish by the afternoon, when the baking sun becomes unbearable.
Laisse prendre ta putain de jambe!
Of the Legion's 10 regiments, 3 are permanently based outside of France. One detachment is deployed in Mayotte. The 3rd Infantry is based in French Guiana, and the 13th Half Brigade has been stationed in Djibouti since 1982. The regiment consists of 800 men. Djibouti borders Eritrea, Ethiopia and Somalia, and is situated on Africa's Horn by the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, with the Arabian Peninsula on the other side. Previously under French rule, it gained its independence in 1977. But France still maintains a military presence there, along with American and Dutch forces, because it has great strategic importance as it guards the entrance to the Suez Canal. And from here, troops can easily be deployed to any trouble spots in the Middle East or Central Africa. A paratroop regiment have a distinct tactical advantage. They can be positioned behind enemy lines or placed into areas not accessible by land. A huge fighting force can fall out of the sky and land within minutes, changing the course of battles and wars. They can create a vertical envelopment of any conflict situation. Sergeant Chef Wagner makes a final check on the soldiers' parachutes. In the strict procedures leading up to the jump, the paratroopers are not able to check their parachutes themselves. In the air, there is no time for mistakes. Everything must go like clockwork. The instructor makes a final check on the soldiers' parachutes. The smallest mistake by the instructor would see the paratrooper plummet to his certain death. This final inspection is crucial to the survival of the Legionnaire.
Les trois derniers là. Vous venez de où? Chef de l'avion, il me dit 16. 16 par câble. Vous venez de où? T'as fini toi? Non, 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 c'est celui-là, ils sont à vérifier. 16. 16 comme c'était prévu, ils sont là. Celui-là, ils sont en plus. Moi, chef, je l'ajoute dans le câble, je vais vérifier oui ou non. Je l'ajoute dans le câble, vérification ou non.
The Legionnaire must be completely focused before his parachute jump. He must find time on the aircraft to collect his thoughts before jumping out of the plane. His preparation must be perfect if he is to land safely. Each Legionnaire knows that the landing is vital. The smallest mistake could lead to serious injury or possibly death. The Legion's 2nd Parachute Regiment is today one of the most respected military units in the world. But their history had a grueling start. Indochina had been part of the French colonial empire since 1887. But in 1946, a decisive war broke out between France and the Viet Minh, fighting for Vietnam's independence. This war was going to extinguish the torch of the French colonial empire forever. In 1954, the war came to its final confrontation at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. The French general Navarre pinpointed the area of Dien Bien Phu, deep in the hills of Vietnam, as a strategically vital area to win the war against the Viet Minh. The general decided to set up a heavily fortified camp here, but its safety was completely dependent upon air support. This decision was a huge mistake. General Navarre had underestimated the Viet Minh. They had surrounded the valley with 50,000 men and totally outnumbered the 16,000 French soldiers. Essentially, the French army was in a hole, with an aggressive enemy attacking from the surrounding high ground. Thousands of French soldiers were flown in and dropped into the valley. The 2nd Parachute Regiment of the French Foreign Legion was nearly annihilated at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. Only a few survived.
Ils descendaient plus bas possible, plus bas, et sortaient. C'est pas le temps de réfléchir. C'est quand j'y arrivais que je pensais quel côté j'étais. Beaucoup de cadavres dans le barbelé. Beaucoup. Impossible d'aller récupérer des Viet Minh et des Français, des troupes à nous. Beaucoup de cadavres. Beaucoup d'odeurs.
Joaquim da Silva, originally from Portugal, was 25 years old in 1954. He had joined the Legion 2 years earlier and was serving in the Parachute Regiment when the Indochina War reached its climax. When he jumped out over Dien Bien Phu, he knew he was jumping into hell.
J'étais volontaire sur le Dien Bien Phu. Après, j'étais 4 mois de captivité.
The Viet Minh captured over 11,000 prisoners and made them walk over 400 kilometers to prison camps in the north of the vanquished country. The French prisoners were starved and beaten. Only 3,000 survived to return to France. Joaquim da Silva was one of the lucky ones.
Plus heureux, c'est quand j'étais libéré. Quand j'ai trouvé la liberté, j'ai remercié au bon Dieu. J'avais 43 kilos quand j'ai revenu.
30?
43 kilos.
43.
How long were you in prison?
4 months.
Et beaucoup, ils sont décédés. On était jeunes, la Légion. 20, 35 ans. Normalement, on devait parler des femmes. Voilà, on parlait de manger. Quand on allait sortir, j'allais manger ça. On passait de la nourriture, c'est tout.
The battle at Dien Bien Phu was the first time a European colonial empire had been overthrown by its former colony.
On aime l'aventure, on aime les femmes, des jolies femmes comme vous.
Ouais, ça va bien, très bien. C'est fini, hein. Une fois qu'on a touché le sol, c'est bien. Je suis en train de regrouper toutes les 6 pentes. C'est un autre qui va revenir là. On dirait 1 minute 30, 1 minute 40. Après on descend. On est là. On est touché un peu avec un collègue. Mais après j'ai pris la traction qui va avec. J'ai dégagé un peu. Parce qu'on a des opérations à respecter. Si c'est respecté, ça se passe très bien. Les consignes, quand c'est respecté, ça se passe bien à la descente. Sauf s'il y a du vent. S'il y a du vent, après, bam. Sinon, c'est bon. La nature, des fois, c'est différent. Mais sinon, bien.
Today, one Legionnaire has mistimed his jump and crashed to the ground.
Là, donc, c'est un personnel qui est tombé assez fort sur le sol. Okay. Donc, je disais que c'est assez rare qu'il y ait des accidents comme ça. En général, c'est une cheville qui est tordue ou des petites blessures, un genou. D'accord, mais on l'évacue tout de suite, il monte dans l'ambulance et on l'évacue. En général, 1 semaine, 2 semaines après, en général, il est sur pied. Là, a priori, c'est un cas un peu plus grave, mais on verra tout à l'heure quand le médecin aura parlé.
Il n'y a pas de paresthésie, il n'y a pas de douleur au niveau des jambes. Dès que je touche le pied, il le sent, il peut bouger les orteils. Mais d'un principe de précaution, on ne le bougera pas. On le mettra dans la coquille et après on l'amènera à l'hôpital. Il fera la radio et on verra si oui ou non il y a une lésion au niveau du dos. Voilà, donc là je lui ai passé juste pour qu'il puisse être calmé un peu. J'attends un reliquat de matériel et après je vais l'envoyer sur l'hôpital. Mais ça semble pas très important. Attention pour poser. Poser. Ah.
Luckily, today, the injury is not too serious. A Legionnaire must always be ready, be prepared to fight. A call could come at any moment, and these brave men could find themselves on the streets of Afghanistan or the desert wastelands of West Africa. They're prepared to fight to the death for the freedoms that we so readily accept. Being a Legionnaire means being ready for war. The Legion is in the front line of conflicts. They are the first in and last out. For Legionnaires, combat is a part of their everyday life, and they have learned to live with a sanguine view on war. Today is a big day in the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment. General Pichot de Champfleury is paying a special visit to the regiment in Nîmes. He's come to motivate his soldiers in the build-up to the celebrations of the greatest moments of the Legion's history, the legendary Battle of Cameroon.
Dans quelques jours, lundi 30 avril, tous les régiments de Légion étrangère et toutes les amicales d'anciens légionnaires implantés dans le monde célébreront dans le même état d'esprit suivant le même cérémonial, le 144e anniversaire du combat de Cameroun.
It was in Mexico on the 30th of April, 1863, that the Legion made its reputation as a home for heroes. A small company of only 65 men, led by Captain d'Anjou, was attacked by a 2,000-strong Mexican army at the hacienda of Cameroon. Despite being totally outnumbered, the Legionnaires refused to lay down their arms. In a heroic battle, they killed and wounded 600 Mexican soldiers. Captain d'Anjou was slain, but the company fought to the bitter end. The last 5 Legionnaires mounted a bayonet charge against the Mexican forces. And when the final 2 Legionnaires were captured, they still refused to capitulate, demanding safe passage home, to be allowed to keep their flag, and to repatriate the body of their leader, Captain d'Anjou. The exasperated Mexican commander, Colonel Milan, said of these Legionnaires, "These are not men, they are devils." And out of respect for them, he agreed. So the legend of the Legion was born.
Les valeurs qui portent la Légion étrangère en 2007 n'ont pas changé, elles n'ont pas pris le rythme. C'est le culte de la mission remplie, et je vous rappelle l'article 6 de notre code d'honneur, la mission est sacrée, tu l'exécutes jusqu'au bout, et s'il le faut en opération, au péril de ta vie. Deuxième chose, c'est la fidélité. La fidélité à vos chefs, et je vous rappelle que sur nos drapeaux, nos étendards, est marquée la devise « Honneur et fidélité ».
But not everyone is allowed to take part in the parade. Corporal Fonseca is in jail.
Je paye ma banane. Comme on dit à la Légion, voilà. Je paye ma banane.
Fonseca was a student at university in his homeland of Peru before joining the Legion. He's continued to be a good student, and he's now a corporal.
Bon, ici à la Légion, j'aimerais bien être sous-officier. Sous-officier à la Légion, c'est une chose je pense qu'il y a tout le monde qui cherche. Un sous-officier à la Légion, c'est un mec un homme qui est respecté.
But with the jail sentence, those dreams could lie in tatters. The Legion imprisons any soldier who breaks their strict codes of order and discipline.
During 5 years, there are a certain number of things they are not authorized to do. For instance, during 5 years, they have to live in the company. They are not allowed to have an account in a bank. They are not allowed also to buy a car.
J'ai acheté une voiture. Et bon, il y a quelqu'un qui m'a vu. En fait, j'ai acheté à mon nom, voilà. Et voilà, il y a quelqu'un qui m'a vu. Et voilà, ils sont sûrs qu'il y avait une voiture. Et c'est contre le règlement, voilà.
For the case of Caporal Fonseca Pipa, which is 4 years and 2 months of engagement, he was taken with a car, and he is not 5 years yet. So he is not allowed to get his car, so he has to pay for having broken the rules. He knew that he were not allowed to do this, and someone saw him, and so we had to punish him.
In the Legion, being in jail means that you are completely isolated from the rest of your company. You are detained in the Legion's own jail platoon and given special duties, such as gardening.
Et voilà, c'est chiant. C'est chiant, je peux honnêtement, c'est pas joli. C'est pas joli, voilà. Et après, voilà, au niveau des papiers, on fait des tâches sur les papiers, voilà. Et moi, je voudrais faire bien sous-officier. Voilà, c'est ça que j'attends, en fait. C'est ça que j'attends, voilà, mes 5 ans de service, et puis voilà. OK.
So while Fonseca languishes in jail, his fellow Legionnaires are greeting the General. In the build-up to Cameroon Day, an interregimental sports competition is held. The fiercely proud and competitive Legionnaires will have to push themselves to exhaustion in the hope of winning the highly prized championship for their company.
Allez, gauche-droite, gauche-droite. Voilà, tout de suite, et de l'autre côté.
Et donc aujourd'hui l'épreuve c'est le rallye section. Donc la compagnie a 2 équipes, dont une équipe fanion. Le but pour cette équipe c'est d'effectuer un parcours avec des obstacles variés, faire un parcours d'obstacles en sens inverse avec musette, l'armement, le casque. Ensuite il y aura un brancardage dans les escaliers d'une compagnie et à l'issue ils descendront par une fenêtre de la compagnie en rappel. Et ça sera la fin du rallye.
The games are designed to test the Legionnaires' strength, speed and stamina. They include running 300 meters carrying a 40-kilogram sandbag on their backs, or running as fast and as far as they can in 12 minutes. There's the difficult obstacle course to be crossed, which the quickest Legionnaire can do in 3 minutes.
Pour une compagnie, gagner les challenges, que ce soit ceux de Cameroun, de Noël ou d'El Mungar, c'est un objectif très important. C'est quelque chose de très bien pour l'ambiance d'une compagnie. Voilà. Et pour les Legionnaires, c'est l'occasion de se mesurer entre eux. Les Legionnaires aiment l'effort physique, ils aiment se dépasser. Donc là, aujourd'hui, ils en ont l'occasion.
Toi des bras pour équilibrer. Toi des bras pour équilibrer. Prenez votre... Allez, c'est devant qu'il faut regarder. Voilà, on regarde devant. C'est parti.
And all this happens under the watchful gaze of the General, the father of the Legion.
Ils donnent tout ce qu'ils peuvent et pour arriver premier du régiment. Et c'est là qu'on voit vraiment les gars qui sont sportifs et ceux qui ont ça dans le cœur. C'est Cameroun. Voilà.
It's a special occasion when the General observes his troops, and each soldier will be looking to impress him. He's searching only for the fittest and toughest Legionnaires. To them will go the great honour of guard duty on Cameroon Day. General Pichot de Champfleury is simply the father of the Legion.
C'est vrai que le paradoxe apparent de la Légion étrangère, c'est comment on fait vivre, combattre et mourir ensemble des gens qui, à l'extérieur de notre système, se battent, se font la guerre, se disputent, etc. C'est que d'abord, ces gens qui viennent d'horizons très divers, il faut leur donner un projet commun. Il faut leur donner une utilité et un objectif. Il faut, et c'est le service des armes de la France, et au travers des armes de la France, c'est le service de la paix dans le monde. Deuxième chose, il faut leur donner des règles communes. Et nous avons à la Légion étrangère un code d'honneur que tout le monde porte sur soi, à cet article, qui explique qu'à la Légion étrangère, il n'y a pas de religion, il n'y a pas de race, etc. Et puis enfin, la troisième chose, il faut qu'ils se sentent dans une famille chez nous. Je ne suis pas un chef d'entreprise, Je suis un chef de famille avec 7550 enfants.
Voilà, regarde bien devant, tu regardes devant.
Mais c'est vrai qu'on a la réputation de prendre des gens qui avaient des problèmes dans leur vie antérieure. Et c'est voir non pas le côté négatif des gens, mais le côté positif de chaque individu. Et quand on tend la main à quelqu'un qui a été un peu dans l'embarras avant, quand on lui propose un projet, il a une adhésion et il a une fidélité extraordinaire.
C'est baisé.
It's the morning of the 30th of April, and the 3rd Company of the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment in Nîmes is getting ready for an eventful Cameron Day, the most important day in a Legionnaire's year. Throughout the years, the Legion has celebrated Cameron Day on the 30th of April, in remembrance of the heroic battle in Mexico in 1863. Cameron Day is not only special for the Legionnaires, but also for their friends and family. It's the only day in the year when the Legion is open to the public, and it's a rare opportunity for loved ones to see inside the secret world of the Legion. For Captain Coutances, it's important that his company shows itself from its best side. Everything must be perfect.
There is no many medals. But it's not necessarily medals, which is important. It is the spirit. When you make little things very good, very precisely, you make huge things in the same way, precisely, beautiful and so on. And so you go fighting with a witty and strong troop.
It was one May morning in 1987 that Robenheimer, then 18 years old, bought a one-way ticket from England to France to join the Foreign Legion. As Robenheimer's career draws to a close, he's proud to have carried on the great traditions and principles of the Legion. The principles drawn up by King Louis-Philippe in 1831, but forged by the blood of brave legionnaires at Dien Bien Phu, at Narvik, and at Cameroon.
The Last Cameroon. That would make a good title for a film, wouldn't it? The Last Cameroon, you know, I think, is the one before you die, basically. And not necessarily, if you die doing as we say, en faisant Cameroun, doing Cameroon, then that would be ideal. It doesn't feel like the last Cameroon to me, not at all. Although I am leaving the Legion. Having spent 20 years in the Legion and 20 years in a combat platoon, well, when you're a Legionnaire, you're only responsible for yourself. Suddenly, you're no longer responsible for a group of men. And that's quite a big change. Sort of feels strange to not sort of wake up in the morning and not worry about has someone deserted, is someone sick, is someone not happy, is someone I've got to plan for this, got to prepare that. So now no longer having the responsibility for men is that's quite a big change, but that's temporary because I'll probably be taking responsibility for people in the future. The aim of any platoon leader is to be sure that if you did have to ask your men to fight to the last, they would. So I think that requires some skill in man management, and I think I could have asked that from my men. I think they would have done it for me if I'd asked them. You can't manage men pretending to be something you're not. You have to use the skills that you actually have, the qualities that you actually have. And I succeeded in managing men fairly well for for several years now, so the qualities that I do have seem to be fairly good.
Il me faut une agrafos comme ça.
Ah, comme ça?
Comme ça, oui.
Ça, non.
T'as pas des agrafes qui sont là-dedans?
To carry the flag on Cameroon Day is one of the biggest honours in the Legion. The honour is usually given to the lieutenant whom the colonel has marked for promotion to captain. This year, it's a clear confirmation that Ryu will be promoted to captain. Ryu trained at the same military academy as the legendary Captain Danjou of Cameroon, the prestigious Saint-Cyr. In the years to come, he will lead his men, his legionnaires, in training and in battle, and carry forward the proud traditions and spirit of Captain Danjou, Cameroon, and the Legion.
Mais si vous voyez que le ligne
After the Cameroon battle, a Mexican soldier stole the wooden hand of Captain Danjou. The captain had had a prosthetic limb since losing his hand in combat in Algiers in 1853. The wooden hand was later retrieved and given to the Legion. Each year on Cameroon Day, this hand of Captain Danjou is paraded in front of the Legionnaires in remembrance of their fallen brothers. While Ryu's star is on the rise, the sun begins to set on Robenheimer's career in the Legion. And Robenheimer knows he will never again, no matter what path he chooses to tread, have such brotherhood, such friendship, such family as in the Legion. As the Legion looks back on its history, what about its future? One thing is certain. So long as there is war, there will always be a need for the French Foreign Legion, for legionnaires, for men who prove themselves tougher than the rest.
We are the best army in world, the Legion, forever the Legion.